While tensions between the world's two largest economies are in focus, ahead of a highly anticipated summit between Donald Trump and Xi Jinping, a fresh round of trade talks has been scheduled, and this time in Malaysia. China and the United States have confirmed that a new round of economic and trade consultations will take place in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, from October 24th to 27th. Leading the Chinese delegation is Vice Premier He Lifeng, Beijing's top trade negotiator. On the US side, key officials include Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent and Trade Representative Jameson Greer. Now, to understand what triggered this, we have to take a look over the past few weeks where China expanded export controls on rare earth minerals, materials which are vital for electronics, defense and renewable technologies. And this in response to US restrictions on Chinese firms' access to American technology. In turn, the United States threatened 100% tariff on Chinese imports starting November 1st, unless Beijing reverses those controls. There's also a looming deadline. A 90-day tariff truce between the two sides is set to expire on November 10th. That means that this Malaysian meeting carries more urgency than a typical table round. The timing is also significant. The US-China talks coincide with the ASEAN summit in Kuala Lumpur and set the stage for a possible Trump-Xi meeting in South Korea later this month. From China's perspective, Beijing insists that Washington must show sincerity and roll back unilateral tariffs and restrictions as a precondition for meaningful talks. From the US side, officials say the truce is unsustainable and that China's export controls jeopardize global supply chains. And these trade talks come as President Trump embarks on a major diplomatic push across Asia, one that could reshape global economic relations. Well, US President Donald Trump begins a multi-nation Asia trip this week with stops in Malaysia, Japan and South Korea. It's his first visit to the region since returning to the White House, and all eyes are on his upcoming meeting with China's President Xi Jinping. Trump called it a big trip, highlighting that the Trump-Xi talks will happen on October 30th in South Korea on the sidelines of the APEC summit. He had earlier threatened to scrap that meeting amid escalating tariff tensions, but now says he hopes for a deal on everything. Markets are watching closely to see if the two men can halt the trade war that's unsettled global supply chains and rattled investors. Trump says he hopes Xi will also help influence Russian President Vladimir Putin towards ending the war in Ukraine, though analysts warn against expecting any breakthroughs.